We've asked Steve Baker to help us out with the goaltending stuff, and he's sitting over here, so why don't we go on over and we'll talk to him about all that goaltending equipment.
The sticks, the National League allows the goaltender 26 inches from the top of the shaft to the heel, and as you can see, the width of the goal stick, not like the forward or defensive stick, is quite a bit wider. Again, that's just for the blocking part of the goaltending job.
And I just want to say, too, we will be showing you forwards hockey sticks and everything else, and you will see the difference. So make sure you keep in mind what this goaltending stick is like. Okay, how long is... Wait a minute. One other thing I want to say. How much does this stick weigh?
Again, that varies as to what different players
well, what
like.
I'm getting at is...
For this stick right here, it's probably about 3 or 4 times the weight of a regular forward stick, I would think.
That's what I was trying to get. 3 or 4 times?
I think so.
Well, I hate to beg to differ with them, but the stick I used, I think, was...
well,
not
the
3 or
stick
4
you used
times.
is heavy.
This is, what, about a 30-ounce stick? Right? 35?
I've never weighed it, to be honest with you.
I think so. Well, we'll talk more about that after. Let's get the mask, Bakes. Here, you sit down, I'll get it for you. There's one, and here's another one. Oh. Look at the difference in these. Now, explain to us the difference in these two.
Okay, now here you have the fiberglass or molded mask, which basically got started in the National League with Jacques Plante, I believe. He's the one that pretty much initiated it. It's molded to the goaltender's face, formed right to his face, and it's a combination of fiberglass cloth, which is formed over the mold, and also different forms of resins, and then cut to shape and form the way the particular individual likes it.
When they were doing this, you laid down on a table and they covered your face with all this stuff?
They cover it with, well, they'll put your hair up in like plastic and then nylon, and then they rub it with, you rub your entire face with Vaseline.
Like
and
putting a cast
you breathe, actually you breathe through straws through your mouth and nose when it's almost being buried alive. They'll put that mold over your face and you're under there for, say, 3 to 4 minutes.
No wonder you guys went to this.
Well, this here is actually, since I've been out injured, this is when I started using the cage, and I think that it's really the best mask made, to be honest. I've had an awful lot of trouble getting hit in the face and being knocked out and what have you, a lot of bumps and bruises from the plexiglass mask. But the peripheral vision and also the vision of your feet is so much better with the cage mask. And actually, this really got started when Tribeca came over with the Russian team,
72.
and you remember that.
I remember that. But I always thought that the bottom here, looking down, this piece right here would be in the way.
Well, no more so than the way this is situated, because this is right around your eyes, per se, and you can't really see to your feet as well as you can. This portion of the mask on the cage rests right on your chin, so that you are able to kind of look down and beyond it a little bit better than you are with the molded mask. And the helmet, as you can see, is probably better protection for the goaltender, and that's the reason why you see so many people moving to it.
Well, Bakes, thank you very, very much. I appreciate you taking the time out to help us show these people the difference between goaltending stuff, and we're going to be showing forward stuff in later shows, and we appreciate it an awful lot. I think what we'll do, too, Bakes, is will you come out there and while I show these people some shots I can blast at you?
Sure, sounds great.
Thanks a lot, Steve.
All right, Phil.
We're back here with Steve Baker again, and we've covered the skates, we've covered the pads. Now we're going to cover up here, the chest area, the arms, and everything else, where goalies, you can't believe how many bruises and everything else they have sometimes after a game. And even with these things here, why don't you explain that? I mean, that is heavy also. No wonder you got 55 or 60 pounds on.
Well,
what is this?
The upper body pads will vary with the different players that are going to use them. You know, everyone has their personal preference as to what type of pads they like to wear. Now, this, as you can see, is all one piece. There are also other types where the chest part will be one separate entity, and then you also have another portion that will go through the shoulders.
My brother Tony wears... you can't believe it, Biggs. It's the worst... Well, you've seen it.
I've seen it. I have seen it.
It's the worst little belly protector I've ever seen in my life. Why do they call it a belly protector? I mean, it really... Here's the area I think you have to protect more than anything, the chest, right?
Well, it's mostly your upper chest area, because your pants do come up as high as this. You know, it's just a name that's been coined over the course of time, and that's pretty much where that's come from.
What about these arm pads?
The arm pads, again... different players like to have their pads put on it particular ways as to where they may be getting hit with shots. They add portions, and I know your brother has done this so many times.
Yeah.
Every time he gets hit and he gets a welt, they'll add a new piece of padding on his body pad or his arm pads. So far this is pretty much new. I haven't had too much trouble with it, but down the road, when it does become a little bit more broken and a little softer, you're going to start getting a little bit more welts and bruises from it.
I've been in around hockey all my life, and honestly, I never ever took time to look at the goaltender's belly protector or arm protector as much as I'm looking at it now, and it's interesting to me that I never realized that you guys had that much with the, what is that, fiberglass in there? What is that?
Well, they have pieces of fiberglass and also like a foam that covers it, both underneath it and over it. The idea is to keep it as light as possible, and also the flexibility is so important when you're in the goal.
No wonder us guys can't score on you guys. You guys got lead over here.
Well, we try to make it as wide as possible here and there,
Okay, let's get rid of this. Now, the gloves. Well, you got the gloves right there?
The gloves are right here.
Here are the things that I know have gone from small to huge in the last 5 or 6 years, but it doesn't seem to curtail all these guys that Gretzky scored.
Really?
But this part of the glove, the catcher's mitt, why don't you...
Well, the basic width of the glove, they allow you 8 inches in width, okay?
Let's see.
8 inches.
I don't know about that.
And the length of the glove, they allow 16 inches. Now, that applies for both the catching glove and also the blocker. As you can see, there's been a new piece added on. I believe Mike Palmetier from the Washington Capitals is the one that initiated that. It's somewhat of a little catch right here. Before, they never had this little V piece in there, and the puck, could go right through that particular area. It's just an added, advantage for the goaltender.
So the folks at home, what would this be? Like most, these people are really into baseball and all that, and they're really learning about hockey, and we're trying to educate them. What glove would this be like? Would this be like a first baseman's
Well, it's very much comparable to a first baseman's mitt, just the size and also the shape and the webbing area as is. With this particular model, this is a GM21. Most of your catching should be done up in the webbing area, which is the largest portion of the area, really, of the glove, and it allows the hand to, so that you don't have quite as much pain when those pucks come blasting in there at 100 miles an hour. Mm-hmm. There is also another one that has a bit smaller type of a catching web area that's, all one piece, so to speak.
And what about this glove?
In the blocker of the stick glove, again, 8 inches in width is the allotment, and also 16 inches in length. You have a plexiglass piece that forms underneath it. You can see through the holes, and underneath we have nylon, so that's the water. And this here I had put on myself. A lot of the players, again, they have their things made up custom for them. I had trouble where I had my fingers broken back about 4 or 5 years ago, getting hit underneath the blocker portion of it with the shot, and this just adds a little bit more protection for